What's up, y'all? Welcome to Counterpoint. I want to address something. Let me first of all say, again, just keep everybody reminded this is social media, this is YouTube. All the content creators that's commenting on anything that's going on in the current space, this is just our opinion. On most of this stuff, there's nothing truly official come out, so I'm just giving you my opinion. Okay, got that out the way. I want to talk about a comment that I have heard mentioned several times and why I actually disagree with it. The comment was made concerning the Nolan Wells situation and the boys that went out with him and the crew that went out with them, that if you go out together, you have to come back together. And so it's kind of putting responsibility on those boys. And I heard a lot of people say, man, I would have never left my friend. And I would have never did this and I would have never did that. And a lot of times when we make those kind of comments, we're using hindsight, which is 2020, to come up with that call. We're not putting ourselves in that situation. We're just using hindsight. Now looking back at it, I wish I wouldn't have left my friend because maybe he would still be alive. So now I'm going to say, well, why would you leave your friend? Let me help you with something. I don't do boats. I don't do a lot of swimming. I don't do boats, but I used to live in Missouri. I used to work down in Lake of the Ozarks. I've seen them handle the boats, bring them in. I've been on them, seen them work on them, all that. I used to deliver at a factory that made boats. So I'm very familiar with the setup. One of the reasons why I actually believe the guy's story because it made sense to me. The boys made a phone call around 4 o'clock asking for help. And a lot of people, if you don't know what's going on, then you won't get it. But the young man said, we need, and I'm paraphrasing, we need help, we need assistance because our bilge pump is not working and we're taking on water. I want you to keep that in mind. Okay, keep that in mind. And I'm going to try to explain it to you in layman terms. If you're on a boat with a deck where most people are standing, partying, having a good time, underneath that floor is called the bilge. The bilge is the bottom level of the boat. Water can get in, waves, rain, whatever. Water reaches a certain level, normally electronically, it'll kick on, kick the water back out into the ocean, lake, wherever you at, keep everything the way it's supposed to be. If that pump fails, then water is going to continue to rise, which if you don't, not necessarily saying you're going to sink, but it's going to make the boat rise lower and cause other issues because of the heaviness of the water. You understand that? So the bilge pump is pretty important to people who have a boat. So when you make a phone call at 4 o'clock and you say, hey, we need help because the bilge pump is not working, we're taking on water. You got to remember, according to my theory, they're not trying to escape some murder. They're not trying to escape some. They're speaking from what they see. We're taking on water right now on this boat, and the bilge pump is not doing its job. Please send help. Okay, now that's 4 o'clock. We already have GPS records that show the boat left at 4:31. A tow was called in, which was canceled, I think, by the grandfather or somebody else. And it also has been proven that another boat assisted them, towed them for like 2-3 miles, and then the boat was able, they figured it out, and they was able to continue the rest of the way. That was at 4:31. So watch this. Put yourself in this position. If you since we don't understand boats and bilge pumps and decks and all, we don't understand that. If your car is beginning to overheat and you only have a certain amount of time to get from where you are, right? So you show up at a party. The party's supposed to go from 10 a.m. to 1 in the morning. But you notice whatever you was in your car, mess with your car, driving your car, you notice the car is beginning to overheat. And you say to a grown teenage man, we're out of here. The boat is taking on water. We have to go. But you leaving earlier than what was expected. It's July 4th, y'all. Keep that in mind. The honeys is, I've been on the lake beach, all this stuff with July 4th. I know what it looks like. They coming out. The honeys is out there. Okay? That's why you was there. 4:30, between 4 and 4:30, we about to get out of here. If you ain't ready to go because you still want to party, you still want to have a good time, you still want to holler at a honey, you still want to holler at that pretty young thing you done seen over the way, you going to say, nah, don't worry about it. I'm going to catch a ride back with so-and-so. The people who know that the water's rising, you're not going to be sticking around if it's your car and it's beginning to overheat. Talking about, nah, man, we came together, we got to go together. You're not doing none of that. You're not doing none of that. If it's your grandfather's boat, your uncle's boat, your daddy's boat, your brother's boat, you got a responsibility. If we don't go now, we could end up putting ourselves in a worse position. So we need to leave now, and we calling now for help. Well, I'm going to stay. Well, you stay. But we out of here. You see how that works? To me, their story makes sense. I ain't talking about the audio that was called in where people added stuff to it and it's already been debunked and fake. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the story that was told from the beginning. At 4 o'clock, a phone call was made. We're taking in water. The Bilge pump has failed. To someone who has a boat that is very important. Not just because you could potentially sink, but you don't know how it could get worse. And again, it's going to affect the weight and the balance of the boat. So you want to get back to safety as quick as you can before any more damage is done. So send help. We need a tow. Somebody shows up, that's not the tow, but another boat pulled up and helped them, assisted them, towed them, and then probably somebody worked on the deal, whatever, because it got going and the tow was called off. That makes sense to me. So all the talk about we came together, we leave together, we stay. No, this isn't a situation where the dudes got bored and said, ain't no honeys out here, we out of here. This is a situation where an emergency came up with the boat. And it looks like Nolan was not, he came to homeboy. I came to party. That's what he came for. Makes sense to me. So y'all stop it, man. We came together. We should have left together. I tell my kids, no, listen, if you got a car for your daughter, your son, and that thing started overheating, they had so much time to get to the house, you're going to tell them if so-and-so don't want to get back in there, then they're going to have to figure out their own ride home. But you're not going to blow up this engine. That's what you're going to say. You're not going to tear this radiator up because so-and-so who's grown and can get a ride and already told you he going to get a ride, he or she. You're not going to do that. Put yourself in that same position. Put yourself back at 18 years old. They're out there to have a good time. And an emergency came up. Nolan was told we got to get out of here. He chose to stay and hang out. It's proven by the call. It's proven by the time they left. It's proven by the GPS. It's proven by the other people that helped them tow them for a couple miles, help get the pump fixed, and then the boat was able to finish on their own. That's why from the beginning, I told y'all I thought the boys was innocent because their storyline matches up with exactly what happened. GPS comparison, phone call, water, assistant, help, how slow they was moving doing that when they got told. They got proof. The GPS showed that they was moving extremely slow when they got told, and then it sped up when the other boat released them because they had fixed the pump. That's all I'm saying. All that, this and that, come together, leave together. Yeah, that's a good motto. We get it. Marines, of course, you got a lot. Yeah, all the military talk. We get it. We get it. We get it. We all sing drumline, one band, one sound. We get it. But in real time, when there's an emergency, whoever's responsible for that piece of equipment is going to say, we're leaving and we're leaving in 30 minutes. And if it's a party, July 4th, then a grown person who can get another ride back and not done with the honeys is probably going to say, fellas, I'm going to holler at you, dap them up, but I'm going to stay and go talk to her. Got it?